Are you just hanging around wondering what to do? Well, let's take a drive on A1A.
Welcome to Highway A1A, Miami Beach.
In 1926, to serve the increasing number of tourists wanting to see Florida's beautiful East Coast, Highway 140 was built. Then following World War II, in 1946, it was renamed A1A. Today, Highway A1A runs for 388 miles from Fernandina Beach in North Florida down Florida's East Coast to Miami. But A1A is more than just a highway. It also refers to Florida's beach culture with lush tropical scenery. We will show you the many beaches along barrier islands separated by the Intracoastal Waterway in this series, with this first episode beginning in Miami Beach. We'll start a couple of blocks from the south end of A1A at Bayside Marketplace, a two-story open-air shopping, dining, and entertainment center situated on Biscayne Bay. We then begin our journey on A1A, crossing the bay to the brand new Jungle Island on Watson Island. Then over the MacArthur Causeway to South Beach. We'll take you around the south end of this barrier island on the Baywalk pedestrian path to South Pointe Park and Pier, as well as showing the craziness of South Beach. We'll travel north up Miami Beach, simultaneously showing both the Atlantic Boardwalk and the famous Collins Avenue. We'll explore the more relaxed beaches of Mid Beach and North Beach. Continue further north to Surfside.
And it was in this spot that the GOAT, Tom Brady, announced he was retiring. Well, maybe not this exact spot, but somewhere in this area.
Bal Harbour, and crossing the Haulover Inlet to Sunny Isles, showing Haulover Beach, where there's a great dog beach area, and the nude area, if that's your thing.
Oh my goodness.
Then ending at the Newport Pier on Sunny Isles. In part 2, we'll show Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, and the rest of Broward County, and finishing the Gold Coast with Palm Beach County, before moving up through the Treasure Coast, the Space Coast, the First Coast, and ending on Amelia Island at Fernandina Beach. We have 388 miles of gorgeous Florida shoreline to explore. It's time to take flight and enjoy the nature and culture of A1A. We start at the La Quinta Airport West. This is a nice La Quinta, good-sized modern room, pet-friendly. Also on this trip, stayed at the La Quinta Airport North, a little bit older hotel, but the rooms are still very good, and being a little older, you can park next to your room. Very convenient, which I like. We take 836, the Dolphin Expressway, to downtown. I've been at all 5 La Quintas in the Miami area, found them all to be pretty decent. The La Quinta Airport East is no longer pet-friendly, unusual for a La Quinta. It is also where the planes fly right over the hotel, so there's a little noise if you are a light sleeper. These 3 La Quintas around the airport are generally about a 35 to 45 minute drive to Miami Beach. However, there is construction of the 836, I-95, and I-395 interchange that can make the trip to Miami Beach quicker, as 836 will have an upper deck and provide a direct connection with Miami Beach, dropping you right on the MacArthur Causeway. It will have aesthetic lighting, a 6-arch bridge that will reach 330 feet in height. Will add some color to the Miami skyline, illuminated in light blue. Looks pretty impressive. Expected to open the summer of 2026. We'll pick up A1A in a little bit, but first, gonna make a detour into downtown as we drop down on Biscayne Boulevard to the center of Miami entertainment at Bayside Marketplace. Across the street, the Cuban Freedom Tower, a symbol of Miami's Cuban heritage. As the sun sets on downtown Miami, the energy and music picks up at Bayside Marketplace. There are regular festivals that happen in Bayfront Park next door. The old FTX sign still on the top of the Miami-Dade Arena, home of the Miami Heat. The cruise port of Miami. And on the left, the MacArthur Causeway, A1A. In the distance, Miami Beach. There's a big parking garage on the north side of the marketplace. It is about $7 to $20 to park. It can get pretty full later in the evening on weekends. At the front, a massive banyan tree, over 118 years old, that was imported from India. At the marketplace, there are plenty of shops for clothing, souvenirs, snacks, or grab some cafe con leche. Colorful open-air bars with live music like the Mojito Bar. This is also where most of your boat tours of Miami are at, like the Thriller Speedboat, my favorite. I think the most fun 45 minutes you'll spend in Miami. It's $43 for adults, $33 for children, 3 to 11. For a slower cruise, try Island Queen Cruises. A 90-minute cruise is $30 for adults, $20 for children, 4 through 12. For all the other boat tours, see our Miami Travel Guide video. Coming soon is Pier 5, not a literal pier, but an entertainment complex with cocktails. Created by the group that did the Wharf Miami. It's named after the pier that once stood here in the 1940s and 50s. There's lots of waterside dining options here. For Cuban cuisine, there's Cuba Cabana. Or try a daiquiri or pina colada at Let's Make a Daiquiri. There's Mason's Famous Lobster Rolls, Ben's Pizza, the Lola Bar, and Mambo Cafe with Cuban and Caribbean food. And of course, there's the Hard Rock Cafe. I went to The Knife to pick up some Argentinian food. They have both a restaurant and a counter-serve eatery on the second floor. Having some delicious Argentinian steak. At nighttime, the marketplace really comes to life, especially on weekends. The Miami Wheel lights up the night sky. It is $20 for adults and $16 for children, 4 to 11, for a 12 to 15 minute ride. A look at the Miami skyline at night. We begin our journey on A1A. As we cross over the bridge, a look to the right at the Miami skyline. On the left, the Venetian Causeway, which also takes you to Miami Beach as you go through the Venetian Islands. We showed it in our Miami Beach travel guide from a year ago. In the middle of Biscayne Bay, to the right is Dodge Island, where the massive cruise terminal of Miami is at. We have one more stop, still in Miami city limits, before we head to the beach. To Jungle Island Adventure Park, located on Watson Island. On the west part of the island is Joya Beach Club and Restaurant, with relaxing lounge-style seating under palm trees right on the beach. We pass the South Beach Duck Tour. That's a boat land tour you can take from Miami Beach. They jump into and out of the water here at Watson Island. It is $45 for a 90-minute tour for adults and $28 for children, 4 through 12. Jungle Island, formerly called Parrot Jungle, is a redesigned eco-adventure park, home to some of the rarest and exotic animals, along streams and waterfalls, under a lush canopy of tropical trees. The original park sustained heavy damage from Hurricane Irma, so they did some major renovations, and it just recently opened. For the time being, because they are still building and growing, you can actually get in for free, as long as you book online, at least a day in advance. Otherwise, it is $10 per person. While admission is free for now, parking is $15. A treehouse to play in. Only service animals allowed. For an additional cost, you can also experience animal encounters with lemurs, sloths, flamingos, tortoises, kangaroos, and capybaras. Also here, Treetop Trekking Miami. Miami's only zipline and aerial adventure park, with 4 different challenge courses for all ages 5 and up. Not many things free in Miami, so I take advantage of Jungle Island while it is still free. Back on the MacArthur Causeway, driving on weekends, you see multiple huge, impressive cruise ships to the right. Palm trees line the middle of the causeway. The causeway is 3.5 miles long and drops you off on 5th Street in Miami Beach. A1A turns north up Collins Avenue, but from 5th Street to 15th Street, we want to show Ocean Drive, which is the strip of South Beach, and the shoreline. So therefore, we'll begin on the pedestrian path around the shoreline, which begins at the end of the causeway. We'll do a long version of Miami Beach, part of our Florida Dreams non-narrated relaxation video that will show the whole drive along Collins. Although, may not be too relaxing driving in Miami Beach, if you know what I mean. But what is definitely relaxing is a stroll along the scenic pedestrian path. It is 1.5 miles to the pier, a nice scenic walk to view some impressive yachts and boats. There's a couple of restaurants. First, the more casual Monty's Sunset Bar and Grill, a seafood eatery and sports bar located at the Miami Beach Marina, in a tropical setting with a poolside tiki bar. To the right, the channel of Miami Beach. South Point Park, one of the most relaxing parks of Miami, popular for yoga and stretching. Something you need after dealing with all that traffic. There's a large parking lot here. It's $4 per hour, a good portion of it taken up by the restaurant and contractors. So if later in the day, it could be a challenge to find a spot. The Smith & Walensky restaurant is a steakhouse with seating literally right on the walkway. Got to be careful I don't run over a waiter or waitress. Plenty of trees along the walkway where you can lay out a hammock. I think this is the most scenic part of South Beach. Just a gorgeous walkway. It ends at the South Point Fishing Pier. This is Miami Beach's only oceanside pier. There's no charge to walk it. The next pier is over 12 miles to the north at Sunny Isles. We'll show at the end of the video. From the pier begins the Miami Beach Boardwalk. At North Beach, turns into the Atlantic Way, all the way to Haulover Inlet. It makes this boardwalk 9.5 miles long. That's over 3 times longer than the Hollywood Beach Broadwalk, although not as wide as the Broadwalk, which we'll also see in the next video in this A1A series, of Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. Just under a half mile from the pier is Nikki Beach Restaurant and Beach Club. This is a way super chilled bar and restaurant with seafood. You can dine under palm trees on a daybed. I mean, it doesn't get more chilled than this.
I'm feeling nice when I'm with you. Daily good vibes, that's how we do. I'm feeling nice when I'm with you.
Just another half mile north is the Loomis Park in the world famous South Beach Strip. Some new changes from a year ago when we filmed here last. There's new colorful block letters of Miami Beach for pictures. Also, Ocean Drive is now one way for southbound traffic. During some special events, they do close it to cars. There's currently a big battle between the local residents and hotel owners with a plan to permanently pedestrianize the street with some new paving, which I'm all for. What do you think? I think cars just clog up the road. The plan hasn't been approved yet. Our last year's Miami Beach travel guide was filmed during Art Deco weekend when they do close down the drive to cars, and it just makes it so much more festive, more open. There's more room for food and vendor tents, putting them on the sidewalks rather than putting them on the boardwalk like they are now, which just makes the already crowded boardwalk more congested. So hopefully Ocean Drive will be closed to car traffic soon. Further down on the boardwalk is Muscle Beach, where you can get a good workout in.
I'm feeling nice when I'm with you. Daily good vibes, that's how we do. I'm feeling nice when I'm with you. When I'm with you, that's how we do. Ooh la 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 la.
If traveling with a dog, I really encourage you to get a dog backpack. It saves the dog the stress of excessive walking and heat. Cargo dog packs are the best. I put a link in the description below. Parking is challenging in Miami Beach. We are going to show you all the parking areas. For the Strip and Loomis Park areas, the 7th Street parking garage, just a couple blocks from Ocean Drive, is the best. It's a $50 flat rate Friday through Sunday, and weekday rates shown here. And this garage is close to Wet Willie's, where you can dine on the second floor patio overlooking the beach. The famous Versace Mansion, which is a fine dining restaurant now. Of course, there's plenty of nightlife here on Ocean Drive. For more of the hotels, eateries, and nightclubs, see our Miami Beach travel guide video from a year ago. Four blocks west of Ocean Drive is Espanola Way, a pedestrian street, Mediterranean village, modeled after Spain and France, with romantic string lighting overhead at night. There are Cuban, Spanish, and Italian restaurants in an outdoor European Main Street setting. There's salsa dancing at night. After lunch in Loomis Park, we jump back on the boardwalk, where the high-rise resorts and condos begin. We head towards Lincoln Road. We pass 15th Street, this long boardwalk, one of the best things of Miami Beach. Now passing Lincoln Road, which we'll talk more about in a bit, but want to show you a little more of this boardwalk as it nears Mid-Beach. Then jump back on Collins Avenue before finishing up South Beach. Across from the Lowe's Miami Beach is the 16th Street parking garage. This garage is close to Lincoln Road Mall and very close to the eateries that line Collins Avenue from Lincoln Road to 18th Street with the same $15 flat rate on weekends. The Lincoln Road Mall is a couple of blocks west of A1A, Collins Avenue. Like Espanola Way, it is a pedestrian-only street from Washington Avenue for 7/10 of a mile all the way to Alton Road. It is Miami Beach's largest outdoor shopping, dining, and entertainment district. In the middle of the mall, a large dining promenade under umbrellas, tents, and palm trees, with everything from sidewalk cafes to some good high-end ethnic restaurants. There's a large parking garage just north of the mall. We now move up Collins Avenue. Here's the eateries I was referring to earlier. From Lincoln Road to 17th Street, some good breakfast and lunch spots, like the Rosetta Bakery, where you can pick up some delicious Italian pastries like focaccia. And from 17th to 18th, some good restaurants for the evening, with sidewalk patio seating. We show most of these eateries in our Miami Beach travel guide. Collins Park is where South Beach ends and Mid Beach begins. There's parking on the beach side. This lot across from Collins Park is $2 an hour, and you can stay for up to 3 hours. Mid Beach starts at 23rd Street. The W Resort is here. Tends to be about $300 to $600 a night. Parkopedia is a good app to find not only garages but also metered street parking. You'll also want to have the Pay by Phone app to pay for the street parking. Good for most of Miami. Gonna bounce back and forth from the boardwalk and Collins Avenue. Mid Beach is a little more relaxed than South Beach. The boardwalk is well marked at each street with the street number. You notice as you get further away from South Beach, it is less crowded on the beach and boardwalk areas. At Mid Beach, Indian Creek runs along A1A. At 32nd Street is the Faena Hotel, only about $1,200 to $1,600 a night. And next to the Faena Hotel is the Faena Condos, and on the left, the creative round-shaped building, the Faena Forum, an event space with a rose marble amphitheater. On the right, the 34th Street lot. Back on the left, the Crema Gourmet Espresso Bar. And we are going to pull in the lot at 36th Street, which is Municipal Lot P57. It's $2 an hour, allowed up to 3 hours. There's restrooms and a little grassy area with palm trees. Notice the beach less crowded. Water more clearer. In the distance, several resorts. The Cadillac Hotel and Beach Club, the Confidante Resort, Best Western Plus, and Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn, Miami Beach Oceanfront. Big Bus Miami with a 75 to 90 minute double-decker tour. A night tour is $26 for adults, $17 for children 3 to 12. They also offer a daytime hop-on, hop-off ticket. Now approaching the 41st Street Bridge, which brings you to I-195 that connects Miami with Mid-Beach. The Hampton Inn Mid-Beach is located here. Mid-Beach is known for its chill vibe. It has more chic, modern nightclubs, more comfortable resorts, and also some of the best restaurants of Miami Beach. On the right is Indian Beach Park. This lot is a $20 flat rate to park. And next to the lot, the blue and green diamond condos. A 1,400 square foot 2-bedroom condo goes for about $7,500 per month. Indian Creek is partially a natural and man-made creek. Mid-Beach is more for those who want a nice resort, yet not the rowdiness of South Beach. It's where you can enjoy the turquoise waters of South Florida, yet with modern lodging conveniences and room to breathe. While South Beach gets all the glory, Mid-Beach is the one that is becoming more and more the destination of choice for Miami Beach. Some of the popular restaurants at Mid-Beach are the Lola Restaurant and Grill at Oceanside Plaza, the Hakkasan at the historic Fontainebleau, and Chiconi's at the famous Soho Beach House. Near the 63rd Street Bridge is the Hilton Cabana. 63rd Street separates Mid-Beach with North Beach. The bridge connects to Lagos Island, part of North Beach. It is where the Lagos Country Club is at. And north of that is Normandy Island, with a waterway that runs down the middle of the island. To the right, the Normandy Shores Golf and Country Club. North Beach's most impressive skyrise, the Aqua Tower, with vacation rentals, which you can find on Vrbo. Or if you want to buy a 2-bedroom, 1,300 feet condo, you are looking at about $1.3 to $1.6 million. Our first public parking area in North Beach is Allison Park, Municipal Lot P81. It's a reasonable $1 an hour, maximum stay of 3 hours. This park is dog-friendly, a super soft turf, ADA accessible playground, an elliptical for cardio. There's facilities with showers, ADA crossovers. It's a clean and quiet beach area. You can rent beach loungers and umbrellas with Esteban's Place. We are going to hop back on the bike and travel up the boardwalk. North Miami Beach has more beach parks than Mid-Beach. Much more public accessibility to the beach here. 0.7 of a mile north of Allison Park is the North Beach Bandshell, where there are regular events and concerts. You can see a schedule here. The parking lot is across the street, lot P92. It's $1 an hour. A look at the back side of the park from the boardwalk. Several sand volleyball courts. On the north side of the Bandshell is Ronnie's by the Ocean, a Mediterranean restaurant, bar, and hookah lounge. There's street parking here along Ocean Terrace. At the end is Tequiza, a taco restaurant. You can still see the skyline of Miami in the distance. Downtown North Miami Beach on Collins, just 0.3 of a mile north of the Bandshell. Our next parking area at Altos Del Mar Park, between 76th and 77th Street. This lot is kind of hidden by the North Shore Library, so easy to miss. It's Municipal Lot P106, $1 an hour to park. There's a decent-sized green area with a modern playground here. One of the newer parks of North Miami Beach, renovated in 2019. Has some workout stations as the boardwalk winds through the park. Across the street is Ocean Blue Condos, which you can book a vacation rental through Vrbo. Nice elevated pool decks overlooking the park. We pass 77th Street, North Miami Beach. North Miami Beach has a far more relaxing vibe than South Beach. Just a couple of blocks north of Altos Del Mar Park, our last beach park in Miami, North Beach Oceanside Park. There is street parking along Ocean Boulevard and also a big lot across the street, Municipal Lot number P108. Again, $1 an hour to park. This is an older park but is being renovated. In fact, the Boardwalk here, just completed in the summer of 2022, was the last section of the Boardwalk to be completed and now allows you to bike or run from South Point Park to the Haulover Inlet, 9.5 miles. After North Beach, Oceanside Park is Surfside.
And it was in this spot that the GOAT, Tom Brady, announced he was retiring. Well, maybe not this exact spot, but somewhere in this area. But don't worry, I'm not retiring anytime soon.
Brady is constructing a $17 million mansion on Indian Creek Island, just across from Surfside. We passed the former site of Champlain Towers South, where 98 people sadly lost their lives from a collapse in June of 2021. There's not much public parking in Surfside for the beach, only a little lot at 94th Street, and it tends to be full, being close to the City Hall. At 96th Street, Surfside turns into Bal Harbour. On the left is Bal Harbour Shops, with designer boutiques, high-end department stores, and restaurants in a lush tropical garden setting. Like Surfside, Bal Harbour is filled with luxurious condos. Although Surfside is mostly residential, Bal Harbour has a few more resorts, like the Ritz-Carlton that sits on the northern end of the island at Haulover Inlet. It is where the Boardwalk, now called the Atlantic Way, finally ends at Bal Harbour Pier. This is a public pier, but no public parking on the Bal Harbour side of the inlet. So it's best to park at the Haulover Beach Park and walk across the bridge. A look back at the colorful North Bay of Biscayne Bay, and away in the distance, the skyline of Miami. On the Haulover Beach side of the inlet is a jetty. Haulover Beach is known for being a nude beach. But don't worry, that's on the north part of the beach. Around the inlet it is family friendly, nice shaded picnic areas. One of the most scenic beach parks of Miami. It is where you get a 2-mile stretch of no high-rises between the condos of Bal Harbour to the south and Sunny Isles to the north. There's also a skateboard park and a dog park here. Also a nice long paved bike pedestrian path that goes the length of the park for 1.8 miles. There's 1.4 miles of beachfront. On the beach, between lifeguard towers 2 and 3, dogs are allowed off-leash from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Parking for Haulover Beach is $5 on weekdays, $7 on weekends. As well as the large lot at the inlet, there are 2 large parking lots on the Bayside of A1A. And there's also the Blvd Marina with plenty of fishing charters. And further up the park, a boat ramp. In the middle part of the park, beach volleyball courts. The clothing optional areas are towers 12 to 14.
Oh my goodness.
We now enter Sunny Isles. Traffic here gets super heavy in the afternoon and rush hour, as there are a lot of people who live in these high-rises. A mile north of Haulover Beach is the Newport Pier on Sunny Isles Beach. There's a very small lot with only a few spaces for $3 an hour here. But there's the Gateway Center on the other side of Highway A1A for $2 an hour. It is a little walk and you have to cross congested A1A. At the pier, there is the beach bar with a good menu of surf and turf items, sushi, and cocktails. Open from 10 a.m. to midnight. The Newport Pier is 776 feet long. It is free to walk for sightseeing, but $6 for fishing. You tend to see more pelicans here than you do at the South Point Pier. Probably because there's more tastier fish in the ocean here. At least that's what one of the pelicans told me. As far as the beach, due to the condos around it, just note you start getting shade at around 3 p.m. Next to the pier is the Newport Beachside Hotel and Resort, where there is a really good dinner detective mystery dinner show on weekends. Tickets start at $62. We continue further north on A1A, passing 172nd Street. On the north end of Miami-Dade County on A1A is the town of Golden Beach, pretty much all residential. It's where Collins Avenue turns into Ocean Boulevard. And beyond that, Broward County, our next video, where we will continue up the coast, showing Hollywood Beach, Dania Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Pompano and Deerfield Beach. Also, we'll be posting a long version of this video, part of our Florida Dreams series, that is non-narrated, where you hear more of the sounds of nature as well as music. And you see much more of the drive up Collins Avenue, as well as the aerial footage over the coastline. Most things in life are a give and take. Yes, Miami has a lot of traffic, but there's a reason why there's a lot of people here. The beaches, the weather, the nightlife, and the best food in the world is hard to beat. And a shout out to Miami-Dade PD. Miami is one of the very few American cities where violent crime in the last couple of years have actually decreased, and fairly significantly, 33%. We are Tampa Aerial Media. We film travel promos across the USA. For stock footage, or if you would like to hire us to film your city, region, or resort, contact us at info@tampaaerialmedia.com. From South Florida, I wish blessings to you, wherever you may be. Join us as we continue our journey up A1A.